What's good, YouTube? Evan Umber here with the last battle in the first play session where I premiered my Mega Heracross Speed Control team. This is, of course, an OU battle, and I've got a really exciting one for you all today. This was a fantastic battle. This was the last battle in the stream. Amazing way to end the stream. This is exactly what I hope for as a competitive battler. It is the highest joy you can achieve as a competitive battler is when you face someone who is a great opponent, when you play another great player and it allows you to make predictions based on what would I do. That is the most satisfying and the most fun I've ever experienced as a competitive battler, and my opponent Ren did not disappoint. So Ren, thank you so much for supporting Rocket HQ in the stream. And with this battle, this is of course an OU battle. You see me bringing back the Mega Heracross team. Next time you see this team, there'll be some changes and some differences, or some different things. This was the first play session. The team did pretty well. It didn't do as well as the last team I used, but that's because this team is, you need to practice more with this team for it to be really good. And there's some things I'm going to change about this team, but I'm excited to keep using it. I love Mega Heracross. I love the uniqueness of this team. I think there's a lot of potential. Looking at Ren's team, one thing I notice almost every battle I use Mega Heracross in is not a lot of people can stop Mega Heracross. Azumarill, sit down. Lucario, sit down. Chansey, sit down. Scrafty, sit down. Garchomp, be careful, and Tyranitar, sit down. Like, Mega Heracross is going to be really important for this battle because it can do a lot of work to Ren's entire team. And that's often the case because not a lot of people prepare for Mega Heracross. The thing is very powerful. If you want to see the exact EV spread I won, why I won, the moves I won, check out the team building video in the description. That is where I built this team. You can become a better team builder. Help me become a better team builder. But if you want to know what I think is the best Mega Heracross in OU, check out those videos down below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and actually start the battle. So, Rocket people, if you like this video, if you dislike it, please leave a rating down below. It helps the channel grow, helps us get more grunts in the tier system, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you. Let us know what you like, what you're thinking. Remember that thoughtful, competitive comments can even help you rank up in the Team Rocket tier system. So leads, I predicted Tyranitar, and like I said, unless he did with Garchomp, which I didn't predict him to have the lead Garchomp, someone's going to die. Someone's going to take a heavy blow from Heracross. So I outright just led with Heracross. One city would do. Really surprised to see Protect. I'm wondering if my opponent has some competitive history with VGC, because honestly, Protect is very seldom good in OU singles, usually only with Wish Patches, so I thought it was really weird to go for Protect there. I don't agree with that, taking up a move slot on your T-Tar, to be totally honest. I think it's a waste of a move in singles. Here I go for my close combat with an Intimidate. Oh, I'm a normal Heracross. I'm not even Mega yet. Look at the raw damage output. So obviously my defenses do go down, which I'm totally fine with, because I'm about to pop this thing with a pin missile in case they switch, and this really annoyed me. So one of my defenses are lowered, two, they get a critical hit fake out, which is really irritating because now my Mega Heracross is going to be at a range of HP I'm really not happy about, because he does have an Azumarill with Aqua Jet, and I am really close not being able to take an Aqua Jet anymore, so I'm really frustrated my opponent went for the fake out. But again, in OU singles, fake out really not a good move on Scrafty in my opinion, not worth it. So I'm wondering if some of these are VGC pokes, if my opponent has VGC backing, or what their thought is. But I really don't agree with that taking with fake out there. But it is frustrating because now my Heracross is at a range of HP where actually it can't be taking a lot of priority attacks. So even though my attack's back at neutral, I was guessing this was a Mega Chomp based on his team. I really thought this was probably a Mega Chomp, which is a little rough for my team to handle because I can't slow it down by tricking an Iron Ball. I especially thought it was Mega because the sand went down and he switched it out. So he goes back in the T-Tar to get the sand up. And here I'm like, okay, you switched the T-Tar into a Skarmory. You don't have Earthquake, can't hit me. I'm pretty sure you're running the T-Tar that I've even run. And it's becoming increasingly popular. It's mixed T-Tar with Fire Blast. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you're going to try and Fire Blast my Skarmory. I don't know why else you'd bring it in on my Skarmory. So I predict him to go for the Fire Blast. So I switch to my Heatran. And oh, that's why I love battling good players. When you can go, that's what I would do, and you can just predict that way. It is so satisfying when you find someone who, it's like doing a dance when they play in the same way that you do. So here I go for the Flash Cannon. Probably should have just gone for a Flamethrower. Switch was pretty obvious. But I went for the Flash Cannon just to be safe. I'm obviously not going to do anything to Chansey. So I'm like, alright, I mean, I have my own Chansey, so there's really no reason not to go into Lucy. 100% of her brain. Really no reason not to go into her. So I go into Lucy. He's going to make Lucy Pancake here, just spotting me on the ground. Totally fine. Because honestly, our Chanseys can't really touch each other, and I'm fine just kind of wish passing into something else. It'd be awesome if I could like even wish pass into my Heracross. Here my opponent actually switches out. They're not interested in doing the Chansey on Chansey. They bring in their Lucario, which does make me think it's physical. I knew that this was like, I knew this wasn't a Mega Lucario. Obviously we're playing OU. I knew my opponent didn't bring one. But I did predict a close combat. So I decided to go ahead and switch out into my Skarmory. Because I could probably take anything this thing wants to go for. But he shows me the nasty plot, which is a little discouraging there. Not super happy about that. So I do decide to stay in, and this is a time that maybe Whirlwind would have been useful. I'm considering adding Whirlwind over Roost, because I don't use Roost very much, but Whirlwind would be really nice. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Another Vacuum Wave goes off, but I did get my Tailwind up. So now my thought is sort of, okay, Mega Heracross can still actually take one from the range he's at. And again, I'm so frustrated that I took so much damage from that fake out, because I would be at a much, much, much better range of HP. Where I'd feel much more comfortable taking Vacuum Waves and Aqua Jets. Because this Mega Heracross is very bulky. Again, to see the exact spread that I won, check out the links in the description down below. So I do go for the close combat. I could have gone for an Earthquake. Surprised my opponent didn't go for a Vacuum Wave there. That really makes me wish I didn't take that fake out. Because if I could have been out of range of HP to survive an Aqua Jet, that would have been amazing. Because that would have changed the game right here. I thought about this turn long and hard because my opponent could have been a Belly Drum Azumarill and gone for Belly Drum. And that would have put tremendous momentum in my opponent's hand if they got a Belly Drum up. But honestly, I figured they'd probably want to go for Aqua Jet. If I was in their position, I would as well. Thankfully, because I take damage, I'm able to do a calc. I do the calc. I now know that's a banded Azumarill. So that's very, very helpful because I see how much the Aqua Jet does. I now know that thing is banded, which also means that unfortunately my Heracross can't really take an Aqua Jet from the range of HP it was at. But if it hadn't taken that fake out, it would have simplified things tremendously. So here I go for the Wish. I'm just kind of scouting what this T-Tar wants to do. I could have switched into my Heatran again, but I thought that was all too obvious. So I wanted to see if they'd go for like an Earthquake or something, predicting the Heatran to come out. So I go for the Seismic Toss just to get damage off and get my Wish back. Because honestly, I'm very not threatened by this T-Tar. It's not wanting Superpower, Brook Breaker, Low Kick. I don't really see people run that on T-Tars anymore. I know I ran it at the beginning of Gen 6. I'd love to see that make a comeback. But I ran it then because Pokebank wasn't out yet and other T-Tars were so common. So here he brings out his Garchomp, who I'm thinking at this point in time is probably a Scarf. It's either Scarf or Mega. That's kind of where my head's at. The way he brings it in makes me think he's Mega because he wants it in the Sandstorm. But did you notice something? What didn't happen? There's no rough skin. This person is running Sandvale Garchomp. I was so... That's just cool. That's just not cool. That's not cool, and it's cool. So... It doesn't really affect the battle very much, but that's definitely disappointing to see the Sandvale. So here I'm just going for Wish Protects because this Garchomp can't touch me. Surprising it's not Mega, and now I'm thinking maybe this thing... Like, I still don't know what this thing is. I don't know if it's Scarfed or not. So he withdraws, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's Scarfed. I don't think he's Mega anymore because he's not Mega Evolving when he should have. Goes in the Azumarill, and I was like, oh, this is do or die. This is do or die here. If this thing goes for a Belly Drum, I'm in complete, I'm going to be... Oh. I think I was so paranoid about it going for a Belly Drum, even though I knew in my gut this thing was banded because of the damage. What I should have done there that would have made the game changing is I should have gone for a Protect. If I protected, I would have gone up to full health with Chansey. Then I could have wished because we have a speed tie. If I got a wish off and Azumarill killed me, I would have been able to bring in Heracross and get Chansey's wish, have Heracross at full HP, which would have been game changing. So that was really my fault for not going for Protect right there. I didn't expect Superpower because honestly it's very uncommon and I don't think it's the best thing to run on Azumarill. I think Aqua Jet, Waterfall, Play Rough, Knockoff is definitively better than Superpower, to be honest. So I was really surprised to see Superpower, but I should have protected nonetheless. But I just didn't expect the Superpower, that's why. So here I bring in Heracross because they're locked in the Superpower. I'm free to go for a Bullet Seed. Nothing on their team could switch into a Bullet Seed and not die, except for the Chansey, who I could then go for a Close Combat on, or depending on the damage, go for another Bullet Seed. So because I failed to pass a Wish to Heracross, again, I'm out of range of HP where Aqua Jet will kill me. I wanted to see if my opponent would be very, very smart and go for a Waterfall here, which is... I mean, they kind of have to go for Aqua Jet because it's a huge risk. If I stayed in and went for Bullet Seed, they basically would have lost. So they really kind of have to go for Aqua Jets. So I go to my Meowstic here with the intent of getting a T-Wave off on that Azumarill just to slow it down a little bit. I also could have tricked there, which might have been better, to be honest. I could have tricked to get rid of the Choice Band, but I was more concerned about tricking the Choice Scarf away from the Garchomp. Because I wanted to give Garchomp my Iron Ball to make it slow enough that my whole team could outspeed it. That was really a lot more important than making the Azumarill weaker. And also, the fact that it's locked in the moves might help me later in the match. So here comes the Garchomp. I went for the Safeguard in case Chansey wanted to go for Toxic or T-Wave or something. And that's exactly what I want to see happen. So here I go for the trick because I'm convinced this thing isn't Mega. And I'm convinced it's Choice Scarf, but surprise, surprise, it's actually Focus Sash. So that's really, really weird. Usually you only see Focus Sash Garchomp if it's the lead Garchomp. Here Sandstorm subsides. I could have switched out, but I mean, Meowstic wasn't necessary. I didn't need Meowstic anymore, and I didn't want to risk it going for Earthquake or Outrage and destroying whatever I switched in. So I just went for the safe Psychic 4 damage off on this thing. And now this thing is slow as dirt, so I'm free to go into my Heracross. Because Heracross will outspeed, and obviously nothing on his team can switch into Heracross, which is exactly why I make this play. Could have gone into something with HP Ice, but he has the Azumarill. And he shows me Protect on Garchomp. I'm not going to lie, I think that's honestly a mistake to be running on a Garchomp in singles. I don't see you getting much use out of that as opposed to having another move. I think my opponent may have some VGC backing because that's 2 Protects and a Fake Out, which very unusual in OU singles. Honestly, I think you'd get a lot more use personally out of another attack. I went for Close Combat in case they wanted to go into Chansey, seeing my Bullet Seed. Although it really didn't matter which one I went for because I'd have to switch out when Azumarill came in anyway. Here, I'm down to 3 pokes. I am down to Heatran just died. I foddered Heatran deliberately because I'm down to Jolteon and Heracross, and I know I can win the game. I know I can, but I have to defend my opponent being a great player. This turn was the turn that determined the entire game. An Aqua Jet will not kill my Jolteon. So I had to count on my opponent knowing that and switching into their Chansey, which is exactly what I would have done. Knowing I would have switched into Chansey, I switched into Heracross. Because if my opponent switched into Chansey and I stayed in with Jolteon, they would have had a much, much, much better chance of winning. But because I switched with Heracross on their predicted switch, I have complete offensive control right now. I go for the Bullet Seed in case they want to switch into Azumarill on the predicted Close Combat, because that will still put momentum back in their hands. And I know Chansey can't kill me with a Seismic Toss. So I decided to go for the safe Bullet Seed. I have no reason not to. Chansey does go for a Seismic Toss, which I will survive because of the region of health I'm at. And then I'm free to go for another Bullet Seed. Again, I don't know why my opponent's protecting here. It serves no purpose whatsoever. But that play, that switch from Jolteon into Heracross was the defining moment in this game. And that play only worked because I was facing a great opponent who did exactly what I would have done. And there is nothing more satisfying than when you make a prediction knowing I would have done this and your opponent does the same thing. That's why I love playing great players. It's such an amazing feeling. So that one turn, like that simple little thing, that was game-changing. That was such a huge moment. Because here I can fodder Mega Heracross, which is my plan all along. Now I can bring in Jolteon. My opponent is locked into Aqua Jet. And as you'll see, Aqua Jet is not going to be enough to take my Jolteon out, which means I'm free to go for a T-Bolt. As long as my opponent does not get a crit, I've got the game. So no crit, I obviously survive. Go for my T-Bolt. Crit doesn't matter. Jolteon wipes this Azumarill out. So that's actually a 1-0 win in my favor. An amazing battle came right down to that wire. The one turn where I switched Jolteon into Heracross was such a huge play. And again, only possible because I had a great opponent who did the exact same thing I would have done. I was a little worried my opponent wouldn't know that Aqua Jet didn't kill. But I always say, I would rather lose making a prediction based on what I would have done than to lose because I knew something was going to happen and I didn't act on it. That is the worst feeling in Pokemon. If I'd gone, I think they're going to switch into Chansey but didn't act on it, it's so awful to lose that way versus losing because like, hey, I think this was the smart play to make and my opponent didn't happen to make it. I'd much rather lose that way. So thank you, Wen, for an amazing battle. It's always a pleasure to face strong players. This was an amazing battle, so fun to watch. came right down to the wire. It was just a fantastic battle. So I hope you all enjoyed watching. I love sharing my battles with all of you. To Ren, again, thank you for the battle. Thank you for supporting Rocket HQ in the stream. And all of you, we do post all the battles from the stream, but if you want to see the battles live, if you want a chance to battle us, either myself, Admin Shade, or the Rocket Elites, definitely check out the stream. Link is down below. Excuse me, that is where to catch us, is the best place to catch us battling. Also, be sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay tuned for when we do go live. And also, during the stream is when you can rank up in Team Rocket. Rocket HQ is an organization. We allow you to go from a grunt to an admin. And being an admin means you have the exact same authority, the exact same rights and privileges that Shade and I do. So if you want to be where we are, we'll help you get there. Be a part of the tier system. Level up with us on Twitch. And also, you can rank up by defeating gym leaders in the Team Rocket Pokemon League. The Gym Leader Challenge is live. More information on that is in the Google Drive down below. But yeah, check out the stream to challenge gym leaders, to watch some great battles, and to participate yourself. So thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment and a rating down below. I hope you all enjoyed it. My name is Admin Umba, and until next time, have a good one.